feel like I'm hurting myself.
You and I both know you weren't discharged. That was a cover.
All they require is just a small sacrifice.
I'm
gonna die anyway.
Have you accepted Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior? I see.
Conscience. Can't roll with the nonsense. Don't mistake the cover of the book for its contents. I might show you kindness, swim with the piranhas. Things that we forget tend to come back and remind us. Like we all have a past we want to put behind us. Designed to be good, but evil always seems to find us. A man can only change the things he acknowledges. Lust is heat is flame, but skills over politics won't be the same. What really has me stressing out? The gyms are closed, I can't get this aggression out. Before we get the promises, there must be a fence. The Bill Gates of hell won't prevail against us. They don't really want, but we speak it to them. They don't really want, but we teach it to them. They don't really want, but we give it to them. We got the whole package, baby. They don't really want, but we speak it to them. They don't really want, but we teach it to them. They don't really want, but we give it to them. We got the whole package, baby. Say my prayers. Thank God for blessing me. My life's an open book. Could that be why they're testing me? Maybe everything I do is done out of necessity. Stock is on the rise. I think you should invest in me. It's not strange. I'm money like blockchain. Except the things in life that I cannot change. Chant down Babylon. Payback is coming. I ain't LeBron James. You thought I came back for nothing? The game is canceled in the blink of an eyelash. Flow is sick. Grab your N95 mask. The new normal. It gets even scarier. All black and white. There is no gray area. Plain as day, we got the whole package, baby. Competition, their rhymes are all average. Baby. And that's my 16, nothing else to say, y'all. 5G raps, find me under the radar. They don't really want, but we speak it to them. They don't really want.
What up, y'all? What it do? Peace and blessings, and welcome to another edition of Maccabees TV, but on the backup channel. I ain't been over here in a minute. So I want to build up subscribership. Which I have about 1,000 subscribers over here. I just don't use this channel very often. But I want to start using it again so I'm able to live stream on multiple channels. Right now, the only channel that I can live stream from through the YouTube app is regular Maccabees TV. All the rest of my channels, I have to get my hours up. Even though I have the subscribers, the amount of hours or watch time I have is too low because I don't really be on these backup channels like that. But I'm gonna be over here. So everybody that's over here for the first time, some of you guys over here for the first time, you didn't even know I had this channel, although I've said it several times. Make sure you brothers and sisters hit the like button over here, of course, in my house, hit the like button. And also make sure that you hit the subscribe button if you are not subscribed to Maccabees TV News. We are not on Maccabees TV right now. We are on Maccabees TV News. This is the backup channel. So if you're not subscribed over here, you might want to hit the subscribe button over here. This is my backup channel, as well as a place that I'm going to be putting a lot of content in the future in addition to the main channel. So make sure you guys, you brothers and you sisters, you hit the like button for this video, of course. You hit the subscribe button, of course. And you can even go back and check out some of the videos that I did in the past on this channel. And you can check them out. I don't have a whole lot on this channel, but I have some good stuff. I would definitely recommend that video that I did. It's called well, not a video I did, but the video I put up of the documentary called Bastards of the Party. And the reason why I'm recommending that, right, is because it kind of goes hand in hand with what I was talking about yesterday. It kind of shows you when chaos broke loose in New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina, you know, how people were living and what was happening. And kind of gives you an insight into what could very well happen when, you know, when a society delves into chaos, you know. And that might light a fire under some of you brothers and sisters that otherwise are a little bit too complacent in this captivity. Shalom to my brother Dwayne Yosef, I see you. And shalom to my sister Halima, I see y'all. So check this out, right? You guys always support. So I definitely appreciate you guys. Yeah. I do appreciate you guys. Give me 1 second. If you guys could, both of you guys, if you guys could share this video on Facebook as well, on, you know, your social media, that would definitely be helpful. I'm definitely going to be over here more often. That's a fact. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, you know, like I said, peace and blessings. I made sure that what I didn't do was I made sure that I did not. Usually when I'm live streaming, I live stream for multiple platforms, right? I'll live stream from YouTube and also be live streaming at the same time, simulcasting on Facebook. I purposefully didn't do that because I wanted people to come over here to this channel because a lot of people have not subscribed yet. So I want them to come over here because I'm going to be toggling back and forth between both channels, right? 617 legit. I mean, 617. Let's get it. Shalom to you, Ed Johnson. Shalom to you as well. Shalom to everybody that's watching. Peace and blessings. So, yeah, yesterday's show was a good show, man. We went through a lot of information in a short amount of time concerning some of the things that could possibly, some of the possible scenarios that could possibly happen as we approach, you know, so-called 2021. We have a contested still presidential election. We have a warp speed push towards a vaccine, you know, amongst many, many other things that's going on. Just today, I was looking at how the U.S. and Iran, there's some tensions there as well. You know, the U.S. is threatening certain types of military action against Iran. You know, there's a lot of things happening in the world. And so we have to stay abreast of all these things. And we have to talk about them to our people, right? Because it's extremely important for our people to know these things. You don't want to be caught by surprise. Like I was saying yesterday, what's going to throw a lot of people off is that a lot of things that are coming down the pipe, a lot of our people are going to be caught off guard with a lot of stuff that's coming down the pipe. So they're going to go crazy. They're going to go, you know, mad. They're going to be outside in the streets rioting and protesting and doing all types of stuff because they're not realizing what's happening. Although we stand on the corners, the highways and the byways, and we come on social media and we try to use our platform as a vehicle to tell our people what's happening. Nevertheless, a lot of our people just simply don't want to hear it, right? But I noticed, this is something I noticed, that when we were going to camp, when they had all the lockdowns and stuff, we were still out there in the streets. And I noticed that a lot more people were listening to us in the streets than ever before when the whole COVID thing went down. Shalom. Let me see if I can get this. Plumatis 2069. Shalom to you as well. If you guys are not subscribed over here, as I said, make sure you subscribe. This is the backup channel, Maccabees TV News. Everything is good with the main channel, but I'm going to be over here a lot more. And unfortunately, I cannot live stream through the YouTube app because I'm not over here enough. So I do have the requisite amount of subscribers, but I don't have the requisite amount of watch hours because I haven't done many videos over here in a long time. So brothers and sisters, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell. And when it asks you, you want to pick the one that says be notified of all. Paris Armwood, shalom to you as well. You want to be put down that you want to be notified of everything that happens on this channel. So that way, you know, when I go live on this channel, if it's not the main channel and you like the content, you could be abreast because I'm going to try to split it up a little bit. Okay. So spread the word. Make sure you share this video in the whole nine. And I appreciate the few of you guys that are on here. I didn't expect a big crowd because most people don't know about this channel and I'm hardly ever over here. But the ones of you guys that are over here, I appreciate you guys. Give me 1 second real quick. I want to see something. Let's see something. What's this? What's this? Okay. I don't want to give away too much of my but for those of y'all that's over here, I'm gonna see if I can drop a jewel on you guys real quick, just by virtue of the fact that you guys are over here, right? Because by me dropping a jewel on you guys, it's not taken away because most people are not going to get this information anyway. So check this out, right? I mentioned this before. I'm gonna mention it again. If you are into research, like I'm into research, then you like to buy books, right? So I'm sitting in my car. I just left work. I'm about to go to my second job. You know what I'm saying? I'm a slave. All I do is work. I don't have a life. I'm a boring person. So I'm sitting in my car and I'm reading a book right here, right? And I got two other books that I got with me as well, right? So I'm always reading. I'm always researching. And Daniel's soul, shalom to you. I'm always reading. I'm always researching, right? And so sometimes you brothers and sisters want to know, where do I pull the information that I say from, which is good because you don't want to just be a parrot. You want to actually have a firm grasp on this information so that when you share it with others, you can share it confidently because you know the information is true because you researched it yourself. So I go into a lot of books and got people, brothers and sisters, ask me about some of the information that I bring out. Where do I get it? So I gave you guys a great book about a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago, that goes into the whole history of the translation of the Bible into English, particularly the KJV, which is the most popular English translation of the Bible. It's the most popular one. And I gave you guys a very easy read that you could read that will give you a lot of information. And what happened was, it was enough of you guys that was interested in that book that went and got it, that by the time some of y'all got there, the book had doubled in price. And the reason why that happens is because a lot of these websites, not just YouTube, but they all work off of algorithms. So when the algorithm realized that a lot of you guys was ordering the book that I had mentioned, the algorithm is programmed to raise the price of the book. That's what happened. Now the book becomes more money. So, hey, Uncle Claude in the building. What's up? That's my guy. Shalom to you. Peace and blessings to you, bro. Gotta definitely come and see you. So, yeah, the algorithm caused the price of the book to go up because so many people had clicked on it to go research it. So since we have a small audience over here, a lot of people aren't familiar with this channel yet. This is only for the researchers and the bookheads like myself. I'm going to give you guys another resource that I'm sitting here. I read this book years ago, and I'm actually combing back through it and gleaning information from this book to put into a PowerPoint that I'm working on, in addition to other books. But this is one of the books that I'm using, and I'm going and I'm checking. I'm also fact checking the author. All right. The name of this book is called, let me see it, wrong way. Okay, there it is. The name of the book is called The Final Authority, right? Y'all see it? I'm on my phone, so I'm not, right? It's called The Final Authority, A Christian's Guide to the King James Bible. It's called The Final Authority, A Christian's Guide to the King James Bible. And I'm going to tell you guys that the author of this book did a very good job and pulled a lot of information out that I didn't even know concerning the translation. I'm going to tell you guys right now. Let me open it up and see. You'll be reading 340 pages. So if you don't have time, then you may not want to get that book, or you're going to have to really just take your time with it. Because in these days and times, to read like a 300-400 page book is a great undertaking. Maybe one day I'll go through the book. What happened is that you have a lot of brothers that buy the book and then will give it to me and just ask me to highlight the important portions because they don't have time to sit down and read a 340 page book like this. They don't have the time. So, for brothers that I'm close to, that's not literally close, meaning they don't live too far away from me, and or, brothers that I have a good relationship with, they'll go out and buy some of the books that I mentioned, and they'll just ask me to take it home and highlight the important portions of the book and give them a copy back of the book once I'm done with it so they don't have to read the whole book. So, at some point, if any of you guys actually purchase that book, just let me know. I will tell you some of the more important things that are in there that you should know concerning the translation of the Bible that we use. So really, just so you brothers and sisters know, I'm kind of over here today. I'm really trying to build up subscribership on this channel, and as well as my watch time on this channel, so I can actually go live from the YouTube app. I've neglected this channel very long and not put any original content over here. And since I'm working both my jobs today, I have about 5 hours in between time to kill. So I said I would go live over here from the StreamYard app, and get some hours in. You know, I don't expect a large crowd. Most people don't know about this channel. So it's all good. The ones of you that are over here, all praises. I will go live from over here, just talk to y'all for a few minutes, build up my watch time, shoot the SHIT with y'all, and we'll go from there. So if anybody has anything that you guys want me to talk about or mention or say, you could put it in the chat. Let me make sure that I'm looking at the chat as well. You guys could put it in the chat if you have something you want me to talk about, and I'll talk about it while I'm here. So it's a small audience, so I don't expect there to be a whole lot of stuff, but I definitely will talk about it while I'm here. Let me say this to those of you that are here. Give me 1 second. Yeah, let me say to this to those of you guys that are here. You know, yesterday, like this whole thing, like I believe in that the Most High called us in this thing to teach our people, right? I'm not looking, or I didn't come into Israel to be in no type of controversy, no back and forth with nobody or nothing. The Most High called me in this thing to teach. And what I've found is that you have a certain amount of brothers who the Most High has not given them the spirit to teach, right? Now, they may know a few things, and the few things that they may know or they may have researched, they become contentious, and they just want to argue about that one thing. Here it is that we are in the midst of borderline chaos all over the world, and men just want to argue even more than the women. I don't understand it. I can't understand it for the life of me. You know, you have a lot of brothers that's talking about you're a king, you're a warrior. You want these sisters to submit to you. Talk about the sisters are not submissive. They need to submit to you. I want to ask some of you brothers a question, man. Why would a woman want to submit to a man that gossips more than she does? Why would these sisters want to do that? Why would these sisters want to submit herself to men that's in the midst of more controversy, more gossiping, more backbiting, more hating than her? Why would the sisters want to submit to something like that? Some of you brothers are the very epitome and the reason why some of these sisters don't want to submit. Because the sisters when a sister or a woman sees a strong man, by nature, the sister will submit to that strong man. Every sister, I don't care who she is, if she gets with the right man, she will submit. Maybe they don't submit to some of you brothers because some of you brothers have more feminine ways than some of these sisters. I'm just going to keep it a buck with you. And that's what I'm seeing in Israel. Who's doing the majority of the gossiping? Men. Who's doing the majority of the backbiting and backstabbing? It's the men. Who's getting online every time they get in their emotions and making videos about and talking about somebody else? It's the men. It's the men. The Most High didn't call us. The Most High didn't call me. The Most High didn't call us into this truth to be gossiping, backbiting, and all that stuff. The Most High is supposed to have called you into this truth to teach your people, to raise up the tribes of Jacob that are fallen. That's why the Most High entrusted you with this word. That's your job and nothing else. And so what I noticed with some of these brothers is that when you don't want to feed into that feminine spirit that's on them, because it is feminine, they were probably raised by their mother and their auntie and had a whole bunch of sisters and no masculine energy in the house. And that's why they move off of emotions. When you don't want to feed into that, or I don't want to feed into that, then these niggas get in their emotions. And want to make all types of videos and want, just vying for your attention like a woman. And when you don't give it to them, they're in their feelings. But it's too bad because, like I said yesterday, I'm gonna say again. Listen, I'm moving on. I'm moving on a man level. And what that means is that I don't cater to emotions. And maybe it's just because of the way I was raised. I'm not all steeped into my emotions. I don't have an emotional attachment to very much. That's just the way I'm built. So as much as I could love something 1 minute and cherish something 1 minute, I could let it go the next. It doesn't matter to me. You know what I'm saying? So all the stuff that you see going on in Israel, man, I'm not feeding into any of it. In due time, the Most High is going to exalt who his true teachers and his true servants are. Soon enough, it's going to be made manifest and nobody's going to be able to deny it. So I sit back and I wait on that day. That's all I'm going to say. I see in this same individual I was talking about yesterday, now you popping up on channels over there with the so-called conscious community. Now you popping up over there on their channels trying to get attention because I shut you down. The rest of the camp shut you down. Nobody wants to talk to you. You're mentally disturbed. So you decided now you're going to go over to the conscious community and try to beg them for attention. Some of you brothers are pathetic as hell. I'm just going to tell you straight. Can't mince no words, man. You know, it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. So, like I said, if anybody has anything that you guys want me to address or talk about, I could definitely talk about those things. You know, we can definitely talk about those things at some point. Just so you brothers and sisters know, and eventually, I'm sure one or some of those brothers will run into this video. But I'm saying this over here for a reason because I'm not giving away nothing yet. There were some statements made. I'm talking about information-wise. There was some statements made, and it's concerning the doctrine that we teach. There was some statements made, and this is what I'm going to say. There's such a thing in research called methodology. Methodology means that you use a certain set of rules or principles that you can demonstrate to show someone how you arrive to whatever your conclusion is in your research. There's methodology has to be involved. And what I'm noticing is that this whole campaign to try to discredit the 12 tribe sign, to try to discredit all the brothers that come out of One West, to try to discredit all the teachings, there's one thing that's lacking in this whole thing, and it's called methodology. So I'm sitting back and I'm watching and I'm hearing certain statements being made. And you brothers and sisters know I'm an avid researcher myself. So when I hear certain statements being made and then I compare it to information that I already have, I'm like, see, this is the problem. There's no methodology. Whatever it is that you're saying or talking about, you didn't think that thing through. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to grab the video up where you made that statement so you can't say you didn't say it. And when the time is right, we're going to address the statement you made and show that what you said lacked methodology. When you make these broad statements that are based on emotions, so you hate everybody that comes out of One West. So therefore, you will stop at all costs, no matter what, to try to speak against what was taught there, even if you don't do it in a methodical way. Meaning that you can show all the steps that you took to arrive at the conclusion that what was taught was wrong. Can't show it. But in your emotions, you find one piece of information and you make a leap to a judgment without actually using a methodology. Because if you use the methodology, you would realize that what you're saying is wrong. That's all I'm going to give away right now. But I had some good conversations with some brothers today, and I was doing some research today. And it's so funny how the simplest amount of research you realize that brothers are not using methodology in their research at all. They're not. They don't even know. Some brothers, I believe, don't even know how. You wouldn't even know where to begin dealing with methodology, making these broad behind statements that later on somebody's going to come behind you and going to expose you on for a broad behind statement that you can't substantiate. That's all I'm going to say. Y'all running the second Ezra chapter 13, and you think you got it locked down, but I was doing some research. You don't have that locked down like you think. That's all I'm gonna say for now. For now. And the reason why I'm saying something for now is because I'm putting together. I came across some information today. I'm putting together some information in the form of what else? Y'all know me. I'm putting together the information in a PowerPoint, and then I'm gonna have my information peer reviewed by other brothers that I know that are researchers for real. And then I'm gonna bring it to y'all. But I can tell you what I found already pokes holes in this whole argument about this damn Euphrates River. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not giving nothing else away. I'm not giving nothing else away. The Bible says that a multitude of counselors, there's safety. Sometimes when you think you know something, or you think you see something, and this is just a jewel I'm giving you, brothers, mainly you brothers that are teachers. This is a jewel I'm giving you. Sometimes when you think you know something, hey, Shalom Kwamwala, what's going on, man? I know everybody's late, bro, because nobody's used to me being over on this channel. I don't know if you guys are subscribed to this channel. Those of y'all that are in here now, because more of y'all are in here. This is not Maccabees TV. This is the backup channel, Maccabees TV News. If you're not subscribed over here, hit the subscribe button now and hit the notification bell now so you can get notified when I go live over here. I'm going to start going live over here more. What I'm doing is I'm using the StreamYard app, which is a hassle on my phone. I would prefer to use the YouTube app directly, but because I'm not over here much, all I can do is load pre-recorded videos on this channel. I don't want to do that. I'd rather do live streams instead, like I do on other channels. So make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you hit the notification bell. Click where it says be notified about all. And I'm going to be over here a lot more. What I have to do is I have to build up my watch time. I have the sufficient subscribers over here, but I don't have sufficient watch time because I haven't been over here in months. So YouTube will not allow me to live stream from over here until I get more watch time on this channel. So I need for you brothers and sisters to make sure that you hit the subscribe button so that you're over here every time I go live over here. I'm going to make sure that I drop exclusive stuff over here that I don't say on Maccabees TV. Exclusive information that I don't do over there. So that gives you guys a reason to subscribe over here too. And we get these numbers up and I can go live on both. But going back to the whole thing about methodology, like I was saying, when it comes to information, there has to be a methodology to the information that you are presenting, right? And so when I come across information, now the information that I'm coming across and I'm researching, this is information that's new even to me. So what the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take it to other brothers that I know are also researchers, avid readers, et cetera, and ask them what they think before I bring it to you guys. But what I can say is that it's not as simple or as plain as those that hate the teachings are making it out to be. It's a lot more complex than that. A lot more complex than what brothers are making it out to be. And the reason why they're making it so simple is because they're not really researchers themselves. They're operating off a confirmation bias. You see what I'm saying? Where you're just looking for a reason to be disagreeable just to be disagreeable with someone or something. And that's what's happening. Right? So, like I was saying before, if anybody has anything that they want to say, I guess not. It's not a lot of y'all over here. So y'all, sometimes y'all just sit back and y'all listen, which is good too. Hopefully the audio is okay. I don't know what's happening. I'm doing this on my phone, and StreamYard doesn't have an app like Zoom does. I don't use Zoom, I use StreamYard. It doesn't have an app. So I have to actually go on StreamYard's website through my phone to broadcast. So I don't know what's happening. Like I'm kind of monitoring the chat too. If the audio sounds good, y'all can let me know in the chat too. Y'all are kind of quiet today. It's all good. Y'all can let me know if the audio is okay, whatever like that. But yeah, we're living in perilous times, like I was saying yesterday, and so we have to be cognizant of this, and we have to really be talking to our people. Let's just use a scenario, and let's just say that they're right about what they're saying and we're wrong. Let's just say that that's the case. They're right about what they're saying, and we're wrong. In these perilous times that we're living in, how does that help our people? That's what I want to know. The ones of our people that some of them have lost their jobs and are about to run out of unemployment benefits. How does you being right about 2nd Ezra 13 and me being wrong, let's just say that that was the case, how does that help our people in these times? How does it help our people who are suffering from respiratory illnesses, cardiovascular illnesses, and all types of different pre-existing conditions that are being diagnosed as COVID, right? How does it help our people that are going through these things right now? How does it help our people? How does it help our people that are short on food right now? How does you being right, me being wrong help our people that's in that situation right there? How does it help our people right now that are trying to escape the gang life and violence? Every time you turn around, a rapper's being shot down in the streets and killed. How does you being right about 2nd Ezra 13 and me being wrong, if that was the case, how does that help our people? Our sisters are turning more and more every day. Before you had just, I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm gonna be real for a second, right? I'm always real, but I mean, I'm gonna say some stuff that's gonna come across kind of harsh, but just hear me out. You have a lot of our sisters that at one point when they were struggling, you know, they were single, they might have to be a single mother, so forth and so on, you know, not really be able to get a good job. A lot of our sisters would turn into the pole and were stripping, right, to make some extra money. And some of them even turning tricks and doing other things, you know what I'm saying, going back to the VIP room and doing other things to make some extra money to feed their children, which was off as hell. But now in this age of social media, you have a lot of our women that it started off with Facebook, man. The whole, I call it the like economy. Like, in other words, no, it's not it's what they call the attention economy. Where now attention and likes and thumbs up is a whole economy in and of itself. Because if you have a social media page as a female and you're relatively good looking and you're showing your body, you're getting all these likes and you have all these followers of thousands of men all over the globe that's fawning and lusting over you. And now a lot of our sisters, regular sisters, that before would have never went to a strip hole, now these sisters are turning to OnlyFans. Now just everyday regular women are getting OnlyFans pages. And y'all know what's going on over there. They're doing all types of evil over there. How does men being right about 2nd Ezra 13 and me being wrong address situations like that? You have Kamala Harris and Joe Biden that are being projected as being the winners of the election. They believe in a woman's right to abort a baby even up to 9 months. How does you being right about 2nd Ezra 13 and me being wrong about it, supposedly, how does that help our people? It doesn't. So our people have all these things that's wrong with our people. We're under all these curses, trying to figure things out. And all we can do is argue about a chart. Every single video, morning, noon, night, day, evening, 365 days on the Gregorian calendar, and that's the only thing that's on your YouTube page? It makes no sense. They're planning on unleashing this vaccine, and we're going to be the guinea pigs. Our people. And all you could think about is arguing about a chart. I live in a state where it's legal to own firearms. All the firearm stores that are in my area sold out. It's almost impossible to find ammunition for the firearms if you own one. And if you do find it, they're rationing them. They're only selling you but so much. Because you have all these militias and all these people that are stocking up. They're ready for war. We're on the brink of civil war in this country right now over the presidential election. And all you can do is argue about the chart every day. When you see people like that, brothers and sisters, you know something is wrong. That's not a man of the Lord. That's not a man of the Lord. The Most High told Isaiah, it is a light thing if you should be my servant to raise up the tribes of Jacob. I'm paraphrasing, and restore the preserved of Israel. And we have to raise our people up by teaching them these laws, statutes, and commandments, and warning them that if they don't take heed to those things, they might be destroyed right along with this wicked kingdom. That's our number one job. We're supposed to teach our people their nationality. And once they know their nationality, teach them about repentance through faith in Christ. That is our number one job. And to warn our people about the things that are coming. That is our job. Not to argue, and more argue every effing day. And then when you can't get attention from certain people, now you're going to outside people that are not a part of the Israelite community and taking these stupid behind arguments over there. It's ridiculous. I'm just warning you, brothers and sisters, don't get caught up in that spirit, man. Don't be an argue-lite. That's what I call people like that. I call them argue-lites. Malachi, shalom to you. Hey, Jermaine Staley, I feel you, King. Yeah, I agree with you, man. The arm of the Rosicrucian is all through the arms of the so-called Rosicrucians is all through the Israelite community. What's up, Mika? Yeah, it's my backup channel stuff. Mika, I saw that garbage today. You know, I was in a cut watching. Listen, I'm like, hey, there was a TV show. I always tell there's a TV show called The Sentinel. The Sentinel was everywhere. I'm the Sentinel, man. I was sitting right there watching Garfield's channel today, listening to this half retard talking, and he made some statements that he's going to regret later because he didn't think those statements. I'm talking about information wise. And that's what you get when you suffer from confirmation bias. You're full of hatred and anger, and you don't know what the hell you're talking about. I'm going to get them, though. I want them to keep talking. That's why I'm letting them talk. I want them to keep talking. And your man Garfield and your man Kayal, they didn't do him no favors by rubbing his back, telling him he was right, because he was certainly wrong about some of the stuff he was saying. Certainly. That's why the scriptures tell you about answering a matter before you heard it. Here you got somebody talking, but they're talking to themselves, yelling and screaming, halfway crazy. But it sound good, right? So you're like, hey, that was great. No, it wasn't great. It wasn't great. But I could show you better than I could tell you. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that crap that was said, and I'm going to put a whole bunch of slides behind it and show why it was garbage. In due time, though. Don't worry about it. Yehosef ben Yisrael, shalom to you. And those of y'all that are over here, I'm going to keep repeating myself when y'all come over here. Y'all might wonder why I'm over here. Where am I? This is not Maccabees TV. As y'all can see, this is Maccabees TV News. This is the backup channel. I have to go through the whole StreamYard website to live stream because I don't have enough watch hours. I have 1,000 subscribers over here, but I don't have enough watch hours because I'm hardly ever use this channel. So I want to build this channel up where I can live stream from here as well as Maccabees TV. I'm going to put a whole different type of content over here than over there. So I have to have more watch hours. So that's why I'm over here. I want to be able to live stream from the YouTube app. So what I need y'all to do, if you're not already subscribed over here, subscribe over here. Right? Hit the notification bell and click all, notified by all, so that way, every time I go live over here, you can be notified. I'm going to be using the StreamYard app for the foreseeable future over here until I have enough watch hours. And what I'm going to do is the next time I go live, those of y'all that are in the chat on this channel, I'm going to make y'all moderators on this channel. For those of y'all that's in the chat, y'all the first ones here, right? I see some of my peoples over here. So it's only right I'm gonna make some of y'all moderators, 'cause some of y'all are not moderators on the other channel. As a matter of fact, while I'm talking, I'm gonna see if I can do that. I can't do that from StreamYard, but I'm gonna see if I could do it over here. I don't know that I can, but I'm gonna go ahead and try. Yeah, Michael True said, yeah, be careful out here. It's about to erupt. That's a fact, which is again why I don't understand. And this is where I'm, like Garfield said, he showed me respect and he said I'm a friend of his channel. And me and Garfield, we good. But I do have to, I do wonder sometimes though, like every day you're doing videos on the 12 tribe chart and the Israelites. I have no problem with you doing what you feel like you need to do, but aren't there a whole lot of other things going on in the world right now? I'm just wondering, like, what about those things that are going on in the world right now? One second. Yes. Okay. Boom. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm trying to do something real quick, if I could. Yeah. What about the rest of the stuff that's going on in the world? Justin Butler, shalom to you. What about the rest of the stuff that's going on in the world? Why is that stuff not being addressed? That's what I want to know, right? All right, y'all. So let me ask y'all, right? Let me ask y'all a question. All right. So y'all are all new to this channel, right? So I'm gonna ask, does anybody want to be a moderator? If you want to be a moderator, because I'm about to make some of y'all moderators on this channel. Some of y'all are not on the other channel. So, but you got to do your job because I will take you off. If anybody over here wants to, if anybody, y'all the first, this is my first time going live in a while on this channel. So I'll make some of you guys moderators if y'all want to be moderators over here. But you got to do your job. Don't be in the chat arguing with nobody. And don't delete nobody unjustly unless they really deserve it. You know what I'm saying? If anybody wants to be a moderator here, I'll make you guys a moderator. Mika, you're a moderator everywhere. That wasn't for you. You already are. Halima, you're one on another channel, but I'll make you one too. You said sure. Okay. So I made you one too. Dwayne Yosef, I don't know if you're still here. But you already know Dwayne, I wasn't asking you either. You already know you're gonna be. So that wasn't for you either. Justin Butler, okay, you ain't got a screen, you ain't got even a picture or nothing, but I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead, you know. Yeah, man, we're in a fight for our life right now. You know what I'm saying? We're in a fight for our life right now. What's going on? You know? Did y'all see today? Y'all see today about the U.S. and Iran? How there's always been tension, but the tensions are being ratcheted up. With Iran, so that's something else to watch amongst the other things. So let's just talk for a second. You know, as long as y'all here talking, whatever. I'm trying to build up my watch hours. Like I said, I have to have like 4,000 watch hours, so I got time today. I'm in between jobs. I just left my regular job. I'm here by my second job, but I have like 5 hours in between, so I need some time to kill anyway. Cromwell, I got you, bro. No doubt. Well, if you ever do, you let me know. Oh, sookie now. Officer Zakaria in the house. Officer Zakaria in the house. LOI representing. All praise to the Most High. Yeah. So if there's anything you guys want to talk about, like I said, you guys let me know. We could chop it up about that. So you have this whole thing. Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you guys. I wanted to ask you guys a question. So, and there's no right or wrong answer about what I'm about to say, or what I'm about to ask. And you could put your answer in the chat if you could. How do you guys foresee this whole election cycle ending? Do you guys foresee Biden actually being sworn in as president in January? Do you guys foresee Trump not leaving office until he can get a vote in the House of Representatives? If you missed my live yesterday and the ones I've done before, I'm just going to repeat that just for the sake of repetition. There is a back door for Donald Trump to stay president of the United States. The vote for president can be taken to the House of Representatives, which would vote by delegation, not by representative, but by delegation. It could end up in the House, which means then that the popular vote, which supposedly went for Biden, and we already know that they said there was a lot of fraud with that. But let's just go with the mainstream narrative that says that Biden got more votes. If the vote goes to the House of Representatives, the House of Representatives can give a whole nother outcome than what the popular vote gave. And Trump could stay in office. That's the back door. That's why we've been teaching as Israelites for years that your vote really doesn't count. Because if the election is contested and it goes to the House of Representatives could vote based on their interests rather than what the people want. That's in the Constitution. And there's not a lot of people that's talking about it. So how do you guys think this is going to end up? Jermaine Staley says it doesn't matter. They're both two fleas on the same dog. That's a fact. That's a good one. Everybody always says two wings on the same bird. You said two fleas on the same dog. I like that. If I steal it, forgive me. I know the scriptures say thou shalt not steal. But if I steal that, just forgive your brother. You know what I'm saying? I'll have to restore it to you another way, bro. But I might just borrow that, man. You know what I'm saying? That was a good one. I like that. Two fleas on the same dog. I agree with that. That's true. But we got to extract ourselves out that equation and remember that there's a lot of our people, as well as most of white America and the rest of the world, that actually really believes in this whole election thing. And if their votes are not taken seriously and not counted, and the House of Representatives overturns the vote, the everyday Jake that was celebrating in the streets, if you saw, I don't know if you guys saw, whether you're from New York or not, it's very easy to find on YouTube, down in the village, Greenwich Village, oh my goodness, they had a mini parade down there. You hear all the stuff about social distancing and masks and all this other stuff, especially here in New York. Yo, in Greenwich Village, when Biden was projected as winner, you had the whole alphabet community downtown in Greenwich Village. They was out there with their flags. They was dancing in the streets. Nobody was 6 feet apart, and I didn't see too many masks. So they are fully invested in this president that said they are his first priority in office. They're fully invested in that. What if the election was to be snatched from under their feet? What would happen? That's the question I'm asking. We know it's two fleas on the same dog, but a lot of our people are fully invested in this thing. And at any moment, if it doesn't go the way that they want it to go, there could be repercussions. And then you have the whole other side, the right-wing side, the malicious side. You have them too. You understand? So there's a lot of potential for a lot of civil unrest, no matter who wins. And that's the thing that I want brothers and sisters to consider. We're kind of looking at it like we don't care who wins because they're both the enemy, right? Yeah, that's how we're looking at it. But I'm also looking at it from the converse side and saying, but a lot of people are invested in who wins. And their behavior is going to play a major role in some of the stuff that's going to happen. Will there be martial law if there's civil unrest? Like, what's going to happen? That's the question. Dwayne Joseph said, I think Trump will have to take his fight to the Supreme Court, but that will not happen before January 22nd. I don't see this ending without a big conflict. Word. That's the point. That's the point. And what's happening is even some of us as Israelites, we kind of get swept up in the fact that the media is calling Biden president-elect. And technically he's not even that yet. He's not. I'm gonna tell you, man, like you said, I don't have no fleas on the dog. Like, I don't care about either one. But I will say this, at least openly, Trump is against that vaccine. At least that's what he says. We've seen a lot of things going down with this whole pedophile ring, the whole Pizzagate thing. We've seen a lot of things happening, with the abduction of children. We've seen a lot of people being arrested. We've seen a lot of people going down. We're seeing a lot of things under his administration. What that means, listen, your guess is as good as mine. But a lot of stuff has happened in Hollywood or with Hollywood since he's been president. Biden is a friend of Hollywood, right? He's a friend of theirs. They love him. So they definitely want him to win because he's all about, he's a part of that whole agenda too, man. That's why they call him Creepy Joe. You see him smelling. What did he say around those black kids? He said when the kids touched him, The hair on his leg stood up. The hair on his leg stood up when those children touched him, man. That dude is creepy. It's pedophile, you know? And he was elected president, supposedly president-elect, according to the media. Yeah, right. The media narrative is not to be believed, and that's why I don't. Somebody came on my video the other day and said I'm talking like Alex Jones, all because I said that I don't buy the media, the mainstream media's version of a story. What I find interesting, and not in a good way, is anytime I see an Israelite, I'm talking about us now, so we're having a family conversation as Israelites. Anytime I see an Israelite regurgitating the mainstream media story on anything, I'm always a little perplexed at that, and I'm gonna tell you why. And I'm gonna keep bringing this example up. It wasn't too long ago, not even 2 years, that there was a alleged terrorist attack in New Jersey, right? The guy went into the Jewish store, did what he did, and they called it a terrorist attack. Next thing you know, the entire mainstream media is looking at this guy's posts on social media from almost 10 years ago, claiming that this guy is a black Hebrew Israelite, although those posts were more than 10 years old. The last time he even attended an Israelite school was more than a decade ago. But they took those old posts, took it to the mainstream, to the mainstream media, and the next thing you know, the media was calling all of us terrorists and trying to use that guy as a weapon or an instrument to paint the whole community as though we teach violence, we teach about, taking up arms, we teach about going and doing things like that, going and killing people, so forth and so on. The media tried to use that to paint the whole community with a broad brush. This is the same media that's giving you information right now about everything else. So I find it really, really, really perplexing when I hear Hebrew Israelites spouting off media jargon word for word. Did you forget? The same thing happened with that whole incident down in DC. Every time that there's an incident in the Israelite community that's isolated, the media tries to paint us all with the same brush. So me personally, you could call me Alex Jones, you could call me David Icke, you could call me whatever you want to call me, but no, I don't believe everything the media says. Because they write with a slant and a bias, and they have confirmation bias as well. You got to fact check them too. That's why there's such a thing sometimes in the media called retraction. Sometimes they will print a story and realize that they got it wrong and have to do what? Retract it. They get stuff wrong too. They lie too. Their biases enter into their articles and that they publish too, or their news broadcasts. That bias enters into there too. They have agendas too. And most importantly, more than anything else, the media is really controlled by the CIA, as we know, through Operation Mockingbird. We know this. Right. The media pushes propaganda. So I'm always perplexed when I'm hearing Israelites pushing this whole agenda. We don't know what, this election has not been decided yet. I know I'm one of the few people of prominence in Israel that has a channel that's actually saying that, but it has not been decided yet. I know what the media is saying, but it has not. So we got to keep our eyes open as to what's going to happen. And I'll be on, listen, I'm going to tell y'all straight, I can't speak for nobody else. I like to be abreast of everything. The scriptures, Christ told us to watch as well as pray. So I don't just, let me be clear, I don't just sit on Israelite channels all day watching my videos, my camp videos or other camp videos. I go on these Patriot YouTube pages and see what they talking about. What's their outlook on what the media is saying, so forth and so on. I go on right-wing channels too, conservative channels too, and see what the hell they talking about. And they talking about a whole lot of different stuff than we talking about. They got a whole different argument, a whole different way of looking at things than we do. And you need to know that. Hey, Reg, because I'm going to tell you what it is, right? This is what I did. So I know I'm repeating myself for those of y'all that have been in here, but as my people come in, I'm just I'm just filling them in on what's going on. So this is not Maccabees TV. This is Maccabees TV News. I've had this channel for a long time. I got about 1,000 subscribers on here, but y'all wouldn't know it because I hardly ever go live. I mean, I hardly ever do anything over here. But I can't go live from my cell phone through the YouTube app. It won't allow me because you have to have a certain amount of watch hours. Even though I have enough subscribers, I don't have enough watch hours on this channel. So what I'm doing is I'm actually on StreamYard's website on my phone. It's the only place I can live stream. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to build up my watch hours. So I'm going to be over here sometimes more. I purposefully did not simulcast on Facebook and here because I wanted people to see the link on Facebook and actually come over here so they could subscribe. You understand? That's why you didn't get it. I wanted people to actually come to this channel and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell and click where it says be notified about all broadcasts, everything. That's why I did that. So that's why you didn't get your notification. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you what I'm gonna do for you too, Reg. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make you a moderator on this channel as well. All right. Like I said, for the people that came over here that wanted to be moderators, because y'all rocking out with me. Some of y'all are not moderators on the other channel, but I'm gonna make you moderators over here. All right. Ah, shoot. I see my man Masha, Holy Saints and Apostles in the building. Shalom to you, King, as well. Continue doing great works. And Masha, we got to talk, man. I got to bring you on the channel. I know you have a lot to talk about. You have a unique perspective on a lot of things that's going on in Israel. I see all your posts as well as all the great works that you're doing. So I want to definitely bring you on to talk about it for a while. Yeah, but you know what, Reg? I'm gonna tell you something. YouTube, when they did an update, I just found this out not too long ago, right? YouTube, what they did is they have, before when you hit the notification bell, you would get all notifications. What they did was they did an update. I don't know how long ago they did an update where you might have hit the notification bell, but you have to now go back and hit the notification bell where it says be notified about all. That's what you have to do. And if you don't do that, you're not going to get notifications when I go live. And I'm going to make sure I say that on the other channel as well. You have to go back to the notification bell again and be notified about all in order to get all the notifications. All right? That's real important. So I want to ask a question. It's only a handful of people in here, and I'm definitely looking for some feedback. So I got mostly just my fam in here, the loyal people that's been loyal to me on the other channel, y'all over here mostly. So what I want to ask you guys is I'm definitely open to some suggestions, right? What are some of the things or some of the subjects that you feel like I should talk about on Maccabees TV when I go live? Give me some feedback, if you could, about some things that you want me to talk about that I may have not talked about already. What are some of the subjects that we should be broaching on the channel that we are not hitting, that we're missing? Even for you sisters that's on here, what are some of the subjects that you sisters feel like as though we as men, we're not broaching that could be helpful to you as well? All right. Justin Butler said chariots. That's more or less of a lesson. And these channels are not for like straight out lessons, but okay, I'll take that. That's cool. That's cool. What else, if anything, are we missing? Also, I'm going to land me back that question with a second question. And I think I'm gonna do a whole live on Maccabees TV about this, and I'm gonna take calls too. Cornwallis said current events. I try to do that, but I'll definitely continue to do that more often. But I'll tell y'all one of the shows that I want to do, and I'm gonna do it as a call-in show. I want to know from brothers and sisters, but okay, before I tell you what it is, the show has to be everybody that comes onto the show to watch it has to come to the show in good faith and not just to be contentious. I think that there's a subject. I saw Mashar broach it several times, and I've broached it before too, but I think it needs to be its own separate conversation. We need to do a show asking the people, what are the leaders of Israel? What are we lacking that we're not giving you guys that you need? Now, I already know how that show could go. Everybody is so, not everyone, but most camps are so factionalized that they're going to tell you that their leader is just doing everything. Ain't nobody doing everything right. Nobody. There's no such thing. We all have areas that we can improve. And I don't want the show to turn into a recruiting project for everybody to try to recruit people to come to your camp or your camp. If I have a camp and I'm a camp leader in Israel, which I do, all of you listening to me right now, I haven't tried to recruit none of y'all. Have I? I don't recruit y'all. Y'all come on the channel, we chop it up. I show love to all of y'all. I don't be asking y'all who you fellowship, who you don't. But nah, I show love to everybody. And what I'm concerned with is if I ask that question, I'm not recruiting, but people are gonna come to the video trying to recruit for their camp. That's not the purpose of it. The purpose of it is, no matter what camp you're in, you have leaders all over Israel. What are we missing that we need to do better for the people? Now, one brother said I'm not missing anything. And you know, all praise to the Most High. But I'm sure, I know my own shortcomings, and I'm sure that there's some areas that I can improve on, definitely. But I appreciate that. I try to do the best I can. Yeah, man, hit that like button too, family. Let's go. I probably don't even have hardly any because it's not a lot of people on here to begin with. All of y'all should hit the like button. What else? Let's see here. You said update version on your book collection, and you can repost the King James video because the video is gone. I can't even find it. Okay. Halima said the woman's role in our culture seems like everyone's opinion is different. Wow, that's a great one, and I can honestly tell you, the woman's role is not defined because all sisters have different talents. You understand what I'm saying? So that word role is a very, it's not as restrictive as people think with the sisters. If you are talent, the man is the Most High raised the men in Israel to be the priests, right? To be the teachers, and to be the warriors and the protectors. That's what the Most High raised us up to be. The Most High raised us up to be the leaders. But a woman's role is really defined by her husband, right? So in your case, just to use you as an example, Halima, your husband is going to utilize you in what way he sees best. And there may be some areas where you have more knowledge or more understanding or whatever than him. And then you in that particular area will kind of be more hands-on than him, right? You have relationships where sometimes the man is good with the money, but sometimes the man is bad with the money and the woman is good with the money. So the man will come home and give the woman the money, and she will make sure the bills are paid and so forth and so on, whatever like that. She'll take a lead in that particular area. Or a man might be tied up doing one thing over here, but he also, I'll use myself as an example, right? I'm tied up I'm being pulled in a million different directions. So you guys know I have my little business, I have my little website, right? I don't run my website. I don't run my website. My rib runs my website. Why? Because I don't have time. So she takes all the orders. She goes in, she checks when I get orders. She goes, she gets the orders, she finds the products, packages it, ships it, all that. All I do is that if I get a sale, I get paid. That's it. I don't do nothing else because that's not my thing. She also built my website. I couldn't tell you nothing about building a website. Those are her gifts, right? When it comes to the whole thing with the herbs and everything, I know some things about the herbs, but she knows way more. So I allow her to excel in that gift that the Most High gave her, even though I'm the head of my household. You understand? So the role of a woman really is defined by her husband. And if she doesn't have a husband, you know what I'm saying, whoever the woman's head is, if she's in a part of a congregation, then the elder of that congregation is her head or her hedge or whatever like that, and he should be cultivating her gifts. So there's great room for you sisters to do a lot of great things in Israel, man. Don't allow people outside the community to tell you that we say you can't do nothing but shut up, sit home, be barefoot and pregnant. We don't say that. I'll be wasting a lot of talent and a lot of gifts that you sisters have that can help us bring forth this nation and bring it to the next level. All right. So I just wanted to say that. Red said go over pagan holidays. Yeah, man. Thanksgiving is upon us, and I didn't even put together a good lesson for Thanksgiving, but y'all already know what it is. But I should have put together a specific lesson for that. I will do Christmas for sure, definitely. I did one like 2 years ago, and was going into the whole origin of Christmas and so forth and so on. We could do that. Dwayne Yosef said the misunderstanding of Christ did away with the law doctrine. I've touched on aspects of that. I don't think that there's, but definitely I can do some more of that, Con. I don't think that there's one particular scripture because they're using a couple of scriptures and taking a couple of scriptures out of context. So it's an ongoing series of scriptures that we would have to address that they're using to try to say the laws are done away with. Probably the next one I'm going to do is Romans chapter 8. That seems to be one that they're trying to run to, so we'll tackle that. Romans 8:1 particularly. Also, I want to do an entire breakdown on Romans the 9th chapter as well. I think most brothers have a working understanding of Romans chapter 9, but there's a lot more weightier stuff in that chapter than might meet the eye. So I definitely want to do something on that. For instance, the Apostle Paul says in Romans chapter 9, verse 1, he says, I say the truth in Christ, I lie not. What does that mean? And why did he feel the need to qualify a statement by saying, I lie not? What is he talking about? That's the question, right? So we have to go. That's a whole breakdown in and of itself, just that one chapter. I could go on for about 15, 20 minutes on that one chapter with precepts why he had to say he lied not. And the short answer to the long answer is you got to start reading the beginning chapters of the book of Acts, starting from like Acts chapter 6, Acts chapter 7, no, not 7. Yeah, Acts chapter 6, Acts chapter 7, Acts chapter 8. Those chapters explain to you why Paul had to qualify himself as not being a liar. It's very important to understand those things. The bottom line is the short answer to a long story is the reason why he had to qualify himself as not being a liar is because that stigma of Paul killing the prophets followed him his whole ministry. Even when he had made his conversion, right? When you read Acts chapter 9, no, is it Acts chapter 9? Yeah, I believe it's Acts chapter 9. When you read about his conversion, even the apostles themselves did not believe him at first. Just read Acts chapter 9. They didn't believe it. They thought his conversion was fake. And you had people, even in Acts chapter 9, saying, isn't this the same guy that was killing the prophets? That followed him his whole ministry. So he was constantly having to address the fact that his conversion was, a lot of people thought that he was just doing it, and eventually he would come in and lock them up and put them to death like he had did before, as the old man when he was a Pharisee. So that stigma followed him his whole ministry. Think about it. When you read Acts chapter 7, after they stoned Stephen, what did they do? They took his raiment and laid it at Paul's feet. That's cold-blooded. And the people saw that. That sort of thing followed him his whole ministry. How you going to stone somebody and take it? So what is that letting you know that was sanctioned by him? Because they bought the raiment and laid it at his feet. So I sanctioned for that man to be killed. And that man was a prophet. That was a teacher. That was a man of the Lord. And I sanctioned for him to be killed. That's why the people came and laid the raiment at his feet. So that stigma followed him the rest of his ministry. So there were many times where he had to qualify the fact that he was telling the truth and he wasn't lying. Another place you can read about that is in Romans 3, verse 7. He said it there too. He said it there also. Several times. Because people was always accusing him of lying and being fake. All right? So that's a whole bunch of precepts right there. And we only still in Romans chapter 9, verse 1. See? So that's something else I might go over. You said go over the role and responsibility of each of the 12 tribes, right? Yeah, that's good too. That's a good one too. But see, here's the thing with what y'all are giving me, right? I mentioned this before on my last live stream, and I'm not saying that I won't do it on here, But this is not, I didn't create, or I shouldn't say we didn't create Maccabees TV or Maccabees TV News for me to sit here and do lessons like that. I do those on my channel because I try to keep this channel as neutral as possible, right? Like I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to recruit y'all or have y'all up under my teachings and stuff. If people that really want to be up under the teachings that we teach will come to my channel or they'll come to class. So yes, I will definitely touch on all these subjects that you brothers and sisters are asking me to do. But I'll be honest with y'all, if I touch on these, it wouldn't be the full lesson on Maccabees TV. It'll be a portion or a piece. And for those of y'all that want me to go further, you'd have to come to class, or you have to come to my personal channel, which is Priest Daniel Allah Uncut. And there, that place, which I'll start uploading the full videos there soon, that's where I'll give you the whole chapter and the whole lesson over there. I know it's confusion, it's a lot of channels, but I try to keep my personal teachings and my personal camp and what we do separate from Maccabees TV, because I want the channel to these channels to remain somewhat neutral in terms of me building them, like how Sonetta built his platform, so I could have a range of Israelites coming here, because that was the purpose of the channel being built to begin with. So yes, I'll definitely do some lessons over there, but it won't be as in depth as you'll get if you come to the channel, you come to class, or if you get up in the academy, then that's when you're going to get the in-depth lessons that I go into more so than on the channel, right? So I mentioned that yesterday on Maccabees TV as well, that I'm trying to keep the channel as neutral as possible. I'm not trying to recruit nobody. We pride ourselves on our camp being small, because our camp being small allows us to control things a lot better. And there's no shade on camps that are larger, but we like being small. We can control things a lot better. And there's a lot of people that don't join camps in sincerity, which is why you have so many people that hate camps, because you didn't join in sincerity, nor did you actually vet the camp that you were trying to join to make sure that your spirit and their spirit meshed. You just saw something that looked good and jumped in, and then realized it wasn't what you want. We don't do that over here. Our code of ethics book alone, for most people that read it, will make you not want to join, because you will be held accountable to certain behaviors, just as I'm held accountable. Even if I'm the leader of the camp, I'm held to a certain standard. I'm held accountable for certain things, and we are subject to one another. And some people want to be, they want to be in a camp, but they want to be individuals, like free like the wind, just go, and then you do something crazy, and it brings a whole bad light on the whole camp. We don't move like that. So just by reading the code of ethics, a lot of people eliminate themselves, which is good, and allows us to remain a certain size. Although, we are expanding, we are growing. There's a few of you brothers that have hit me up saying you want to be a part of the academy and stuff like that. So all praises. The ones of you that are, we're gonna do a lot of deep diving in there. You're gonna get a lot of great information that I don't do on none of these channels, And the reason being, because on these channels, people have a short attention span, right? If you're gonna make it through the 6 months academy, you can't have a short attention span, because it's gonna be information overload. So I just want you brothers to know that it's gonna be information overload. As far as the King James lecture, I would not repost that lecture again, because I'll tell you why. When we did it, the camera work wasn't great. The audio wasn't great. The people that purchased the live stream, I thanked them for purchasing it, and they said they were edified, they were satisfied, but I was not satisfied with that particular video that we did. So I will redo the King James lecture in 2021 if the Lord allows. However, let me say this with a caveat, right? I will not be redoing the King James lecture until Garfield puts his book out. And the reason that I will not be putting it out until he puts his book out is because I have a feeling he's already told me outright that he has something in the book concerning the matter that he's going to put in the book. I need to see what it is he puts in his book, because I don't want him to be able to backtrack if it's some pseudo information. I don't want him to be able to backtrack. So he critiqued me. I did my lecture. He called himself critiquing me. Cool. I can live with that. So now you're going to put your stuff out. I'm going to critique you. So I'm not going back to that one until he puts his book out. And God knows when that's going to be. Oh, yeah, Mika, you can go back and tell him. I know you're going to go back and tell him. It's okay. It's no secrets over here. Oh, you said Mika got her hand over her face like, yeah. Listen, let me tell you something, right? And I'm going to go back and see. I know some of y'all asked some other questions. I'm going to go back. But let me talk to my homie Mika for a second. Hey, Mika, right? You do know that he was supposed to put his book out. Listen, I observe everything. And you watch his show every day because you're a moderator over there too. He said that since he was supposed to put the book out when Jabari and him had the debate, because of COVID, they didn't have that debate, right? I'm sure you've heard him say he's gone back and added stuff to the book and took stuff out. See? That's what he do. I'm not going to say nothing that's going to allow him, if I bring it out, to go back and change something that he put in his book that's wrong. Sorry. No disrespect. No, you're going to put your book out. And I'm hoping that you get some really good peer review people that's going to be honest with you, and they're also knowledgeable in the subject, if that's going to be part of your book. And hope you get it right. Because if you don't, I'll be first in line to let you know you got that wrong with the resources and the sources to show why you got it wrong. And then we'll go from there. So that particular lesson is not coming out anytime soon. I do apologize. I'll be giving you guys way other good stuff. Trust me. So I ain't gonna say you won't miss it, but you guys can wait for that. What else? Well, that's why this channel is called Maccabees TV News. That's what so what I'm hoping for in a perfect world is you see how I did that show yesterday about the whole thing with that PDF that came out about, the whole thing with the COVID. That should be over here. But I don't have enough watch time or enough subscribers over here for me to put something so important over here. But ultimately, this channel is supposed to be for news and current events. That channel is supposed to be, Maccabees TV is supposed to be for me interviewing people, I guess some current events and things of that nature, right? That's what's supposed to be happening over there. This channel was supposed to be for news. But because it's still a channel in its infancy, I don't want to put something so important over here only for a handful of people to watch it. That's not the point. So eventually it will, and that's to my Plumantis 2069. That was a good thing that you said, but that's the reason why it's not fully a news channel yet. But y'all got to help me get there, right? So I'm gonna be live streaming from this channel more often. It's just gonna be a few of us over here until word gets out, right? But when I get enough watch time and build up a few more subscribers and stuff like that, slowly but surely you guys will see me turn this into a strictly news channel, and the other channel will have other content. So basically you'll want to be subscribed to both. Okay. Michael Truson said cover mental illness. Yeah, just so today I was going to surprise you guys, but it didn't work out. So I left my first job. I have like 5-6 hours in between. I was supposed to meet up with Master Herbalist Patrick Dells. I was going to have him sit here with me in my car, and we were going to have a conversation about mental illness, right? Some mental illness is treatable, even, believe it or not, through herbs and through flushes and cleanses and so forth and so on, and some are not. So I wanted him to talk about the difference between the two, right? But he's not here. But we'll definitely hit that subject for sure. Let's see what else. Yeah, Reg, I know. Sonetta been banging on the Bible harder than ever. I think it's because I keep putting these videos out, exposing Jabari. So he's just going in. But like I told you guys yesterday, I know it gets annoying and it gets on your nerves that they be doing this. Like, he does videos every day, just about, again, banging on the Bible. Garfield does them every day or every other day, banging on the Bible. I know it gets annoying, but you guys will be surprised how this whole social media thing works opposite how a lot of people think. It does. I've experienced it. I've seen it in my case, and I've seen it in other people's case as well, right? When somebody got your name in their mouth, right? Or, pardon me, guys, for some reason my eyes bother me just a little bit, watering. I don't know why. That's why y'all keep seeing me rub it. Just pardon me for a second. Anyway, when you have somebody's name in your mouth, or or the Bible itself in your mouth, right? You're always talking about the Israelites, I'm not saying my name particularly, but let's just say the Israelites, these Black Hebrew Israelites, the Israelites, like Vocab Malone is doing, like Sonetta does, like Garfield does, like the whole Christian apologist movement is doing, like everybody's doing. They have our name in their mouth, right? Their intent is to soil our name and our character in hopes that people will look down on us. And in some respects, it works. But it doesn't work to perfection, because a lot of people in the world have curious minds, and they may have never heard of the Israelites or heard of any particular Israelite teachers or camps in the circles that they run in, but they happen to watch a particular channel, like let's say Sonetta or let's say Vocab or something. They happen to watch the channel and they hear something they never heard before, and some people are curious and it piques their interest, and what they wind up doing is they go to look more into what it is that they're talking about. I do it all the time. Somebody will mention, like I'll be watching a YouTube video and somebody will mention another YouTuber I've never heard about and say, well, hey, this is where I got my information from, or this person over here, they're really great, they bring out great information. I go myself to see, well, who the hell is this person that they're talking about? So the same thing happens in the Israelite community. What you have is you have all these people talking about us, and it does convince some people that we're the boogeyman, but there's other people that come over here out of curiosity to our channels, and they start watching, and the next thing you know, now they're hooked. I stood at Passover, I'm going to say it was Passover, I want to say 2014, maybe 2015, right? Tazariak invited me to the ISUPK Passover, and I went. I believe it was 2014. It might have been 2015. And Sonetta and Reggie were there. And so I went across the room to greet Sonetta, and then, you know, I saw him over there, so I said, let me go shout him out, whatever. I went over there. And right as I went over there, as the Most High is my witness, one of those brothers from UPK, I don't know who he was. I've never seen a brother in my life. One of them, while I was talking to Sonetta and Reggie, he walked up to Sonetta. He said, I want to thank you. And Sonetta was like, for what? He said, yo, he said, I never even heard of the Israelites till I saw them on your channel. You know what I'm saying? And that dude was there fully dressed down in a garment that was an Israelite. Never heard of them except through Sonetta's channel. And there are an abundance of stories just like it. I know I spoke to Divine Prospect. Divine Prospect said he has a whole slew of people that follow his Kingdom Harbinger Ministries movement that first saw him for the first time on Sonetta's platform. So these things that these people are doing, although it's annoying, a lot of times it's having the reverse effect of what even they intend. It's making people come over, and when they come over, they start learning things. You might hear a bit in a piece over there, but then you come over here and you get the full understanding or the spectrum of what it is we teach, and realize that they was lying over there. That's not what we teach. That's not how we move over there. You see what I'm saying? That's what winds up happening. You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing even when other Israelites bang on other Israelites. That's why I said that yesterday about what I said. I said these guys is putting my name in the titles of their videos and stuff. It's going to have the opposite effect of what they may think. Why? Because some of their subscribers are going to come over here and they're going to realize over here we're talking about a way broader spectrum of subjects, as opposed to over there, all they're doing is talking about somebody else. One subject, the chart, and banging on everybody that believes in the chart, and they ain't teaching nothing else. And then you come over here, 1 minute I'm talking about textual criticism. The next minute I'm talking about current events. Next minute I'm talking about vaccines. Next minute I'm talking about language. Next minute I'm talking about Kemet. Next minute I'm talking about this, that, and the third. Herbs, health, cure, music, this, that, you name it. We talk about everything over here. And so they start coming over here for their information because they ain't getting it over there. The Most High be using these brothers to do that. That's why I'm not pressed when they do what they do. If they were smart and they didn't want people to follow this movement, they would stop talking about it. That's what I do. When I see something I don't want to give energy to, I tell people all the time, I say, I'm not even going to say nothing. Like you have this retarded dude in Brooklyn who's been calling my name out, right? Y'all keep hearing me say that, but you never heard me say his name. Why you think? Why would I send somebody over there? Why would I give him some light for? I want that him or whatever he's doing to die off, so I'm not giving him no light. That's how you do it. These dudes don't know how to move. They got to name names and put our names in title. Yes, do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to wind up taking your subscriber. They're going to come over here and they're going to be fed and edified and they're going to be over here. That's just how it goes. You know what I'm talking about? Hold on, y'all, for a second. All right. Well, this was good. This was fun. Let me see. Okay, not bad. I'll take the likes right there. I'll take the likes. I'll take it. It's not a lot, but I'll take it. You know, I appreciate all you brothers and sisters that came over on this side. Some of y'all, this is y'all first time over here. So we're gonna be over here. I might don't hold me to it, but I might go live from here like 2 or 3 more times this week just to build up subscribership. So you guys definitely, again, make sure you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the notification bell and click all, because I'm gonna go live from over here a couple more times this week. I'm gonna try to build up my watch hours. And what I'm going to do to make it more interesting for you guys to come over here, I'm gonna bring information over here that I don't bring on the other channel. So if people that's not subscribed here won't see what it is on the other channel, because I'm not going to say it over there. One of the things that I showed, some of y'all came in late, right? I showed this at the beginning of the broadcast, just for the few people that's over here right now, right? This is one of the best books that you can get that explains to you about the translation of the English Bible that we have today. This is one of the best books. I recommended another book to you guys last week because it was an easier read, but this one is way, way, way more detailed, but it's about 340 pages of reading. I don't know how many of you guys have time for that, but I'm gonna give it to you again. The name of the book is called The Final Authority, A Christian's Guide to the King James Bible. This book is very thorough, very detailed, very thorough, very detailed. Just a lot of reading, right? This is another book that I'm reading right now. It's called Let's Weigh the Evidence. It's a short read. Let's Weigh the Evidence, right? And it's by an author by the name of Barry Burton. And he goes into a little bit of so-called textual criticism, comparing different English versions of the Bible, their strengths, their weaknesses, so forth and so on. So pretty decent book, pretty easy read, kind of fingering through that. Red said that when you came into the truth, you started with Zabak. And you see in an old video with me and Zabak, and me and Hashar on Joel's story, all praises to the Most High. Yeah, Zabak and me go way back to the early 90s. So, Zabak is doing a great work, and a lot of people have woken up through, his ministry and his work. And there is a segment of Israel that's trying to downplay or say a lot of things about that brother. But here's the thing, and I don't think that we can say this enough. I want you guys to always remember, every time that you open the Bible, there's a guy in your Bible by the name of King Solomon. He's in the Bible. When you think about King Solomon, usually your first thoughts of Solomon was he was a great man, did a lot of great things. That's usually your first thought, because he was a great man. And he did do a lot of great things. But when he got old, he went the hell off and did evil. So did we, or did the Most High take the remembrance of Solomon and all the great things he did and delete it out the Bible because he went off when he got old? No. The Bible is a balanced book. So it speaks about the great things that Solomon did. And it also speaks about the things that Solomon did that were not so great. And that's why the Bible says in Romans 15, verse 4, those things which were written aforetime are for our learning, because we can learn from the great things that Solomon did and apply those things, and also learn from the mistakes he did and avoid those things. So we have to apply the same logic into real time. Sabak has done great things in this nation and woken up a lot of people through his ministry, or the Most High used him to wake up a lot of people through his ministry. And you have those that would take all the great that he's done because of the mistakes that he may have made and throw everything away. But the Most High doesn't work like that. Man works like that. Man is short-sighted like that. Most High don't work like that. David was a man after the Most High's own heart, and David went off. David took a man, because David saw another man's wife. He took that man and put him in the worst part of the battle just so he could die, so he could have his wife. And yet the Most High loves David. You know what I'm saying? And made it that through his line would come the Messiah. Somebody from the line of David would sit on the throne forever. Most High didn't throw that man away. David did great things. So we look at the great things he did, and we take that, and the things that he did that were not so great, we learn from that. We have to apply those same principles to today. Mercy. That's it, Masha. Mercy. Peter was a traitor. I just got to call it what it is. That's what Christ called it. Didn't he? He said, before the cock crows, you're going to betray me 3 times. They told Peter, man, you was with that man. He said, I don't know that man. That was traitorous. I don't know that man. Most High didn't take the remembrance of Peter and delete it from the Bible. He's still there and spoken of in high regard. And Christ said, upon this rock, right? Which is manifold, is twofold. Christ is really the rock and the foundation upon which the nation is going to be built. But Peter also, his nickname was Stone, Cephas. So you could take that 2 ways. But his remembrance is there for the most part positive. We also see where he made an error. He got fearful in the moment and made an error. But we ain't throw that man away. Mercy. And that was Christ's problems with the Pharisees. They had no mercy, man. The weightier things of the law they did, but when it came to mercy, they didn't have it. So we got to have it in these days. So all praises to the Most High, man. The Most High used that brother as a vessel to wake you up to this truth, King. That's a beautiful thing. All praises to the Most High for that. Beautiful. Ascena Phoenix said the Bible is predictive and prescriptive. All praise to the Most High. Anah Israel, shalom to you, by the way. Hey, Marshall, you know what? Hold up a second, King. Let me do this. Since you in here, you know, since everybody that's coming on the chat on this channel right here, I'm wrenching them up, man. So I just gave you a wrench as well. I'm gonna be over here more, so I just gave you a wrench as well, bro. You know what I'm saying? Definitely moderate the chat when you're in here, whatever. It's all good. All right. Yeah. So if you haven't hit the like button, family. I appreciate y'all coming in. The people will find out, word will get out that I'm going to be over here a lot more too. And as I said, I'm going to give you guys content and information over here that I don't do on Maccabees TV to give people a reason to come to both. I'm all about teaching my people, brothers and sisters. That's my mission. That's my lot in life, to teach my people, enrich my people with information and knowledge that can make us all better Israelites, all brothers and sisters that are fit for the kingdom, if it be the will of the Father. That's what I do. That's what I live for, bro. Brother and sister. You see what I'm saying? Peradventure the Most High could have mercy on me, man, because I tell you, man, I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy of the Most High having no mercy on me. I'm a filthy rag, and I'm not just saying that. I'm a filthy rag. I'm not worthy of the Most High's mercy. I didn't do nothing special. I look back on my life, especially before I came into this truth, and I did some foul stuff. I'm not worthy. Right? So the scripture said we got to seek the Most High 10 times more. And every day I wake up and I ask myself, man, have I done enough to cover for the things I did? You know what I'm saying? That was off before I came into this truth. And I really don't feel like it sometimes, you know? Okay, Ascend of Phoenix. I got some in the trunk, right? I got some in the trunk. Yeah. All praises to the Most High for that. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna look for some food and get something in my stomach. And I actually was going to my intent was to go inside my other job here and work on a PowerPoint, but y'all know how that itis works, right? Spirit is willing, but as soon as I put some food in my stomach, I'm not gonna work on this PowerPoint. I already know it. But I want to get with y'all on one particular subject. Just give you guys a basic understanding. If you missed my last live stream, I'm gonna end here. If you missed my last live stream, I mentioned something briefly about this argument that people that are against the Bible make, and it's called the original manuscript argument. When people want to sound deep, the first thing they say is, well, where's the original manuscript? That's a very, very, very short-sighted question. And so if you ask a short-sighted or disjointed question, you're going to get a disjointed answer. People would have to first show me when there was ever an original manuscript of the Bible. When was that? According to the text. When was that? I'm going to show y'all something when I do this PowerPoint. You remember when Moses set up captains and officers in Israel? Y'all remember that story in the Torah, when Moses set up captains and officers? When you do in-depth research on those captains and officers, some of them were scribes. Some of them were scribes. And so you had multiple people scribing our history from the beginning. Not one person, multiple people. Moses was doing some writing, but some of the writing was being done by scribes. And copies of those scribal records were distributed throughout all the coast of Israel, because the tribe of Levi was throughout all the coast of Israel, and they all had to have a copy of the law. They all had to have it. So there was never one. I'm going to show you that, amongst other things. Right. My man Cuomo is right on it. He speak about what they call an autograph, because that's what they're looking for. They're looking for what they call an autograph of the Bible, meaning an original version of the Bible from start to finish. The original version. There's no such thing. The Bible was records that was compiled and being put together over hundreds and sometimes even thousands of years. So it's constantly evolving. I'm gonna hit y'all with something. Even the custom of Passover, by the time when you go from the custom of Passover as we kept it in Egypt, till you get to the custom of Passover that it was kept with the way Yahushua kept it, it evolved. I don't know if y'all know that. So, and that's a whole other. I think that's gonna be in Garfield's book too. So I ain't gonna say much else about that. I shouldn't even speak about that no more, because that's something else I'm gonna have to holler at him about. But we're gonna get into that whole autograph thing, that whole original manuscript argument, because it's a lame argument. So we'll get into it. But yes, there were amongst those officers that Moses set up, some of them were scribes. That was their office. And they were with the men that were judging the matters. They had scribes there writing everything down. All that. I'm gonna show y'all that. And it's in the Bible too. You just have to know how to find it. All right. So right, that's a good script. That's a good precept, Marsha. Great was the company of them that published it. Right? All praises to the Most High. So yeah, family, I appreciate y'all listening in. So I've been on here for about an hour and 45 minutes. Not bad, not bad. So that should definitely contribute towards my watch time to this channel. When I hit the magic number, whatever the heck that is, then I'll be able to go live from the YouTube app on this channel, and that's the goal. Then I can do way more of these. All right. Zakaria, shalom to you, King. Listen, Zakaria, I'm a humble myself in front of everybody, man. I got a bag full of your books. I'm always talking about books and everything. I got a bag full of your books sitting in my house that you gave me to underline all the important points, man. I kind of fell off on that, man. So I'm gonna get on that, bro. I'm gonna get on that. You know, we'll talk about it. All right. I did my brother wrong, so I'm apologizing to my brother, for everybody, man. He gave me a bag full of books like more than a year ago and asked me to just go through all the books and highlight all the important stuff for him, so he ain't got to sit down and read 300 and 400 page books. And I've been just looking at them joints like, the spirit is willing, man, but the flesh. Well, Ascent of Phoenix, before I go, let me just say this to you. I don't know if Sanet or Jabbar will ever watch this channel or watch this video to hear me say this. So this is our little secret, right? That video is an hour longer than what Sanetta put up. It's an hour longer. And we got to address the maxims of Ptahhotep again, and the instructions of Ang Shishanki, the stuff that Josh brought out. I addressed it with Jabari. More or less, I didn't argue with him, but I allowed him to give his explanation of why he feels those texts are not misogynistic. I allowed him to do that. To this point, Sanetta has not put that portion of the video up. So just for your knowledge, we did actually discuss it. He did not put the video out. I don't know why. I have my speculation, but I don't know why. I don't know if he didn't put it out because he knows that Josh will grab it and dissect it. That could be one reason. Like, I don't know. But it was an hour longer than what you guys see on YouTube now. I was there way longer than that. We talked about a lot of stuff. We was even talking about my function as a priest and a leader in my congregation and some of the stuff I do. We talked about some of the stuff Jabari does as a leader of his shrine. We talked about common ground too. He does marriage counseling. I do marriage counseling. We were comparing notes. We were talking about all that stuff. None of that stuff went up. It's cool though. I'm not a hater. It's all good for whatever his reason is. So yes, it's an hour longer, if not more. It might even be longer than that. So I don't know if he's going to put it out. If he's not going to put it out, I don't know. And I'm not even going to ask. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not pressed. Yeah. I mean, I could tell y'all what Jabari was saying. Like, I don't know if you guys are following the play-by-play, but so if you watch the video that Josh did, he read from the instructions of Ang Shishanki. Now, okay, good. I'm getting to it right now with Ascent of Phoenix. I'm getting to it right now. See, y'all, every time I'm getting ready to log off, somebody always asks. Y'all should have been asking questions earlier, but it's all good. So let me tell you what his defense was. And you guys will have to wait, and you guys have to wait for it to come out so you can see it yourselves. And I already, as I was talking to him, he was explaining, I already saw how Josh could get him, because even myself and Jabari, we had kind of a disagreement about something that we shouldn't have had a disagreement about. So let me get to the point. So Jabari's explanation about the instructions of Shashanki is the time period from which the text is dated, right? So the translation that we have of those instructions that Josh used, the translation that we have is from the New Kingdom. So it's not from the Old Kingdom or the Middle Kingdom. It's from the New Kingdom, particularly from the period when the Greeks were ruling Egypt. Now, here's the problem with that. From my understanding, even when the Greeks were ruling in Egypt, especially in early Egypt, the Egyptian priesthood was still intact. It was still there. So it's not 100% really a good argument, but it's one he was making. So what he was saying was, since the Greeks were a more patriarchal society, their viewpoints kind of spilled over into the Egyptian text, and that's why you see Ankh Shashanki saying the things he was saying in his writings. That was how he tried to get around that. The problem was, as I mentioned to him when we was on the couch, is that the instructions of Ankh Shashanki that we're reading is from the Greek period, but some authors say it is a copy of an older copy, meaning that it goes back before the Greek period. But we don't have that original copy. We only have the one from the Greek period. So that was kind of to his advantage that we don't have the older one. So he's saying, well, we don't have it. This is what we have, and this is from the Greek period. That's what he was doing. I didn't find that to be too good of an argument because, again, the priesthood was still intact. So I don't find it to be a good argument. And like I said, the authors say that there's an older version. So that wasn't during the Greek period as before. But, you know, that was his little argument that he made there. And then we started having a disagreement about whether or not the period that Ankh Shashanki was in was the New Kingdom. I said yes, he said no. When I read Egyptian history books, and you guys can definitely do your own research and come back and correct me if I'm wrong, when I read Egyptian history books, it classifies Egypt into 3 categories, which that stuff comes down from Herodotus, but still. Is it Herodotus? What am I saying? Not Herodotus. Why am I saying Herodotus? Man, the dude's name slips me right now. Not Herodotus. It'll come back to me. The dude that split Egypt into dynasties and then split it into Old Kingdom, New Kingdom, that guy, man, I don't know why the hell his name is slipping me right now. But anyway, when I read books on Egyptian history, even during the time that the Persians were ruling, Egyptian history books that I read classify that as the New Kingdom, even though it was foreign rule. And the period when the Greeks were ruling are also in most history books listed as being the New Kingdom, right? But of course, he told me, no, it's not the New Kingdom. It's the Greek period. It's the Ptolemaic period, whatever. He was being real technical, but I got history books that say it's the New Kingdom. So that was kind of a moot point that we were going in circles about for the longest time. But I see that he was trying to separate when the Greeks were ruling from actual Egyptian history, because a lot of the stuff that Herodotus was talking about that the Greeks were doing would be very embarrassing and very damaging to a lot of things that they say about when they criticize the Bible, and they know it. They bank on the fact that we don't know it, but they know that certain of us, like Divine Prospect, myself, Hashar, like Zion Lex, like brothers that go into that whole, they know that we know that Herodotus wrote a lot of things that would be very embarrassing. So they're trying to divorce when the Greeks were actually in control of the land from the rest of Egyptian history, even though the priesthood was still there. That's what he was trying to do. He was playing games, but I'm studied enough. I'm definitely not an expert on Egypt. He's been in that way of life way longer than me, but I know enough to know, now you BSing, bro. You're BSing. I see what you're doing. So that's how that conversation went. But so I never put that portion up. His explanation of Ptah-hotep was I found it to be lacking. He basically was saying that it's I don't want to misquote the brother, but he was basically saying that when it says restrain your woman and keep her from power, basically something to do with like women are emotional or something like that. Like that's something like that. So you don't want your woman like going before a judge in a particular matter and getting emotional and the judgment going against you or some. I might be. I know I'm pretty much somewhat misquoting what he said, but he was basically saying you keep her away from the judge, not actually restrain her, as in you be in charge and her being subject or whatever to you. It was a whole, like I said, man. Yo, so I didn't put it up, bro. And I was letting him do most of the talking. I wasn't really arguing with him. I was kind of just probing because I was doing it in a way where Josh could go in and grab it and do his thing, but he ain't put it out. So yeah, he said the Hotep two-step. Yeah, that's what it was. Mika, since you always over on Sunday this channel, maybe one day when you're over there, you could put in the chat and tell him to put out the rest of the video. You know what I'm saying? Tell him to put it out. You tell him you heard it. There's more, and you want to see more. Tell him to put it out. Yeah, but it's sad because I actually enjoyed that conversation more so than sometimes I enjoy talking to other Israelites that are so goddamn contentious. Because if you really look at the conversation, he and I were going back and forth, but there was no contention or ill will that you could feel. It was just a conversation between us. I don't even get that energy from people in my own community. People in my own community that disagree and whatever, they got to be contentious with it. It's sad. Anything else that y'all want to know before I go, man? I got to get out of here. Once this thing says 2 hours, I'm going. I did an hour and 55 minutes. That's what it says. So if somebody else has anything they want me to talk about real quick, you got about 4 minutes left. It says 1:56 now. You got about 4 minutes left. And then I'm a boogie on out. Versatile Red says he's not going to do that because the confidence level is not there. So I need to protect those comedic dudes. Yeah, man. You'd be surprised how many videos there are that never came out with them guys looking bad. You'd be surprised how many videos that never came out. I hear about them because, like, for instance, shout out to Zion Lex. You don't know how many times Zion called me and told me he went over there and did a show and it never aired. Like, it's quite a few times because he would go over there and he would do these dudes dirty and then it wouldn't go up. You know what I'm talking about? So yeah, it's I get it. They want to look good, and when they're not looking good, they want to keep the upper hand. That's why I know you guys be like, when we go over there, why don't we bring our own camera? You notice that no matter who goes over there, none of us have our own camera. Because they want to control the footage. But we go over there because we reach a lot more people because their platforms are bigger than ours. So we have to go over there and do what we could do. And they put out what they could put out. And, it's still waking people up and bringing people in. So it's all good. Honor, love, all praise to the Most High, bro. It is what it is, man. Like I said, I love what I do. I wish the Most High could bless me, man, and I could teach full time. Then I'll really be a beast. I'll be a monster. If the Most High made it so I could take even 6 months off of work and just get into my studies and really teach, let me tell you something. I'll be unstoppable, bro. I'll be like Godzilla knocking buildings. Every false way will get knocked down. You know what I'm saying? So when y'all praying for your brother, right, pray to the Most High that I'm walking down the street somewhere and I see a suitcase open and I see a suitcase open and somebody that left $1 million in the suitcase and then forgot they left it there, man. And I could get it and I could retire. And I promise I'll make it worth you guys while, man. First of all, I give a lot of money to my nation and my people, but I'll make sure that all my bills and all my debt is cleared up. And I would just turn into Godzilla with this information. You know what I'm talking about? That's what I would love, because teaching is my first love. Researching is my first love. And I do a lot of that, but I want to do more. But the spirit is I walk everywhere with my laptop. And I be laughing, to myself sometimes because I have my laptop with me, and you'd be surprised how I bring my laptop and 8 out of 10 days I don't even open it. I bring it to work like, all right, on my break, I'm gonna open my laptop up, I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna be in. Then I get to work, my break comes, and I look at the laptop like, I ain't doing that. Then I was telling myself today, all right, when I get to my second job, I'm gonna go inside, I'm gonna turn it on, and I'm gonna get busy. And here I am talking to you guys for 2 hours. Y'all think I'm gonna go inside and do it? Nah. Once I eat, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. I'm not looking at no. Listen, man, and another thing too, this is something. If you're a teacher, you know what I'm talking about. You got to turn this thing off sometimes. Like, you ever read the scripture when the Most High said the burden that the Most High gave this prophet, the burden that the Most High gave this word. In some regards, is a burden. When not a burden in terms of like a bad thing. It's a burden in terms of this word and this truth. It weighs on you, and you're always carrying it around. So if you don't learn how to shut certain things off at certain times, So like for instance, last night, this is a rule I have, and those that know me know, like my camp be texting me, like the brothers in my camp, the captains, the officers, they be texting me, right? Every time that I go live later in the evening, like I say, I go live at 7 or 8 or 9 o'clock, right? I can't sleep when I'm done because the adrenaline is flowing. I've been teaching, I've been answering questions. I probably had some conflict with somebody in the chat or some shit, and my blood is flowing. And I got to go to sleep right behind that because remember, I get up at 3 in the morning to go to work. Y'all know that. So now my blood is flowing. I can't sleep. Like last night, I was live with y'all, right? And I did that whole thing where I had to chew out that dude. So what do y'all think happened when I turned the camera off? I couldn't sleep because the blood is flowing. Now I'm hyped. Hashar was call. He was yelling on the phone. Now I can't sleep. You know what I'm talking about? So in this truth, as a teacher, you learn when to shut stuff off. I'll be having to shut things off. So yeah, I have this desire to do. I'm not really teaching right now. I'm just talking, so I'm good. And I'm on this channel. Most of y'all are friends on this channel. Like the other channel, I got friend info. So I'm good right now. I'm not all hyped up and stuff. But you have to learn when to turn this stuff off. And I'll give y'all the same advice, man. Before I go to bed, I don't watch Israelite videos no more. I used to do that when I was younger, the truth. I don't do that anymore. Before I go to sleep or whatever, like 2 hours before I go to sleep, I turn on. I'll find if I have a TV show I like, I'll watch that. I look for something funny to watch or something like that, like just to kind of decompress the load of just being in this world, working 2 jobs, teaching, counseling, doing all the stuff that I have to do. I got to decompress. Like I cannot sit down and watch a real serious video of a brother teaching and then go to bed because now I'm sitting there thinking about that breakdown he just said and what's going on in the world and prophecy and war and rumor of war and COVID and vaccine, and I can't sleep. I'm wide awake. So I know when to turn it off, and I also advise those around me to turn it off. So you'd be surprised. Like sometimes when I sneak and I go live, like I did yesterday, men in my camp be texting me while I'm live. That's why sometimes I hear my phone going. They be like, "Go to sleep, turn it off, and go to bed." You know what I'm saying? Or you know what I'm saying? Because if you don't turn it off now, you're not gonna sleep, and that's what happens. And that's usually what happens. Like last night, I ain't gonna hold y'all. I did not sleep after I went off. It was still 1:30 in the morning. I was wide awake. I got to get up at 3 o'clock. I was so mad. So, I'm not saying I'm never going to go live late like I did. I will sometimes. It's necessary. But just know if y'all see me like past like 8 o'clock and I'm still live on my channel, just know I ain't going to sleep. It's a wrap. So it's one of those things I taught myself to turn it off. And I would advise you, brothers and sisters, too. If you as entrenched and invested in this thing as me, I know sometimes your sleeping patterns may not be what it be. At a certain time, turn it off, man. And just, for the last hour or two that you're awake, man, look at something that you like that, you can laugh at, or you just enjoy whatever your enjoyment is. If you like music, listen to some music. If you like funny things, watch something funny. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Just, and turn it off just for a little bit. It'll be there waiting for you in the morning. Trust me. All right. All right, man. Some of y'all are dropping out now, so I know I didn't talk too much. Peace and blessings. Thank y'all for watching. As always, it's your brother Priest. I'll be right back on this channel a few times this week, if it be the Most High's will, and those will be way shorter. I'm just rambling on today to try to get my watch time up. So if you made it through with me through the whole 2 hours and 4 minutes, I appreciate y'all. I got something special for you. Cause you're the bomb. You heard? And with that, family, I'm out of here. I say shalom.
He gave me a chance, he gave me a chance. Thank him in advance, cause he broke the trance. I've been through a lot, wasn't happenstance. Now I ain't looking back, not a second glance. Going and I'm flowing, I'm knowing I cannot halt. Frank him up on my crown, I pray that he protect my thoughts. So you the salt of the earth, or be earth the pillar of salt. No, get off me, not faulty, I'm swarthy, I don't swear with thoughts. Son unto my own, I had to pick up my cross. Will you follow the hallowed or be swallowed for going off? Is it Torah or Korah? My aura can't ignore the boss. And this faith that will lead you, have you count the cost? I done told you once, do I have to tell you twice? Embody, you are a living sacrifice. Like Christ had died when our debt was amortized. You may end up in the mortuary or be mortified. I ain't bowing to no man, man, I'm Mordecai. Patience of the saints, yeah, how wish I be standing by. On day of judgment, the commandments, my alibi. I'm so serious when you see me, just look into my eyes. Yeah, they dwelt in Zion, yeah, held them up like Orion. Then Abba put the iron, they became prey to a lion. Still ain't wanna hear, then got tackled by a bear. Group such a name, budging for bed to idol gods, they swear. Still ignore the shepherd, then got spotted by the leopard. Believed in the conjecture, transgressors throughout their records. Till this very day, getting trampled by the ego. Your ego is the reason we cannot rise as a people. Do it for my sister and do it for my brethren. Every word I'm telling should stick in your melon. Despite all the tension in his name I mention, these words are heaven sent. Repent, so please pay attention.